Hey, good morning everyone, Trackman 44 here. Hey, it's time to move some things down the highway, you know what I mean? So I got this other little Bow Axle B setting up here. It'd been about 10 years since I had it running. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this thing fired up. I've already got it on Marketplace, and hopefully it'll fire up and sell pretty quickly. But I don't know, it's hard to say. The gas tank, doggone, got corroded, got all nasty up and everything. So I've got a temporary gas tank over here, already piped into the carburetor. And I grabbed a crank off another Allis, and I went and stuck it in there and turned it over, and I didn't get any light. So I'm going to check for spark, but I'm going to do it in a unique way. Now, if you ever crank one of these with one hand and try looking around the corner and see if the spark plug is sparking, you'll realize how much trouble that is. So this is what I'm going to do. Now, the power takeoff on these guys with this little pulley in the back actually goes downward. So in order to turn it with the flat belt off another tractor whose power takeoff goes clockwise facing the pulley, I've got to take and put the twisted belt in so that I'm reversing the rotation on that input so that it'll turn the motor the correct direction. Tie the clutch down, go ahead and start the Massey Harris that powers this, and let it go around and around in circles while I stand on the side of it. Let the clutch back out so that the power takeoff will go ahead and engage the engine, let the engine roll over, and walk around as convenient as can be and check and see if I got any spark on the plugs. Spinning this over is going to immediately show me if I've got spark, and also if I pull out number 3 and number 4 spark plug, I'll be able to tell if there's any gas being processed through the carburetor and up into the cylinders, indicating that maybe the carburetor is going to go ahead and pass gas. I've got number 1 and number 2 out and grounded on the side of the block, so we're going to go ahead and fire this up and you can see if we got spark. That revealed immediately there is absolutely no spark. So if I pull out 3 and 4 and have fuel on them, then we're going to know that we got a little bit of gas getting there anyway. So then it's going to be a matter of going ahead and pulling off the magneto cover and checking for corrosion on the points. Well, at least that's a good sign. It's totally wet, and it's plenty of fresh gas getting into cylinder number 3. So if it's getting in number 3, I'm going to assume it's going to be in 1 and 2. We're going to see if we can address the no fire issue and then do this same thing to see if we can start it. Well, we may be onto something here. Here's I just stuck it in there. Haven't even moved the file. I just stuck it, close the contacts, open it back up and pull it out. And you can see the corrosion right here. And it's on both sides of my points file. So we're going to go ahead and clean those and see what happens. This here's the bona fide points file. Perfectly flat and exceptionally fine. You can use one of these right here, or you can actually use, like I've got here, a perfectly flat machinist file. I'm going to go ahead and switch from this one here back to the points file because the machinist file is just a little more coarse than what the points file is. Because you don't want to take off way too much material. You just want to make a few passes through it, because if you take off too much material, you're going to be affecting the point gap. I wish you could see the amount of stuff that's coming out of there. A tremendous amount of corrosion. Literally dust just popping right out at me. I'm going to go ahead and clean those the rest of the way and be right back. We're going to go ahead and slip this back on here, go ahead and hook up the wires, and we're going to go ahead and give her a spin again. Hopefully that'll be enough corrosion out of there to where it's going to go ahead and pass the current. Well, now, I'm not a big magneto kind of guy, but I kind of get in there and fiddle with them a little bit. But at any rate, if you notice this guy here, he's actually got a little sight glass or a little window that you can look down. It's right down here to where you could actually see the blue sparkling of the points while it's actually running. As always, firing order is extremely important. This guy here should be number 1, so firing order should be 1, 2, 4, 3. So we should be able to put number 1 over here, 2, 4, and 3. Put 3 inside there, 4 out here. So as it comes around, it's going to go 1, 2, 4, 3. I already checked the oil, so I know I've got good clean oil in there. No water or anything in the crankcase. So we're going to go ahead and repeat the process and see what happens. for whatever reason, I'm not getting any gas through the little filter here. So I'm going to pull this off. That's kind of weird. Apparently the float may have stuck in the closed position. So we're going to investigate that and be right back. It looks like the float's going to be gummed up on this thing here because I can't get it to pass any gas into the float bowl, even with tapping on it. Usually you can tap on it and dislodge it, not this time. So I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom of the carburetor off and see if I can get that cleaned up just a little bit, enough to where it'll work. Now this is just enough of a cleaning job to get it to pass fuel. It's not a complete and thorough cleanup at all. I did not put it in a parts cleaner, the ultrasonic parts washer or anything. I just made sure the orifices were passing, and I had to get a little bit of gum off of the main needle jet. So hopefully it's going to pass a little gas now. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up that Massey and do it all over again, see if it works this time. Guys, unfortunately I'm running out of time on this. I'm selling it as though it's a non-running tractor, and I was just going to surprise the guys that are going to come look at it this weekend by having it fired up and ready to run to ensure that they knew they were getting an adequate deal. But just run out of time, didn't get it fired up. That doesn't mean we can't. It's just that I haven't gotten to the bottom of all the issues yet. So I think we're going to call this one here good, you know, and with a little bit of luck, this thing will be gone come Monday morning, and I won't have to fiddle with it no more. So you know what? That all having been said, this is Tractorman 44, and I'm out here, guys. Okay, guys, here's just a little bit of an addendum to the video you just watched. Okay, I just got a text literally the morning after I loaded up that, me and that gentleman loaded up that little Allis B, and he took it over to his house, and lo and behold, all that fighting and everything that I did, and never got spark, never got a fire or anything. He was unloading it off of the trailer, rolling it down the ramps, using the clutch as a brake. And when he got to the bottom of the ramp, that doggone thing lit off and fired, and it's just purring like a kid. So he sent me a little video of it this morning. I'm going to go ahead and tag that video right now. You're going to see that thing, how easy it starts, and how good it's sounding. So I'm really tickled to death that he got a good deal. And apparently, whatever it was that I did with moving that thing the way that we did, it cleaned up just enough more of the contacts to where it decided it was ready to go ahead and fire off. And so it did, and he is just happy as could be. So here comes the video right now.